really hard to follow that. It was really great to read. Somewhere in the middle of nowhere in Maine, there is a quarry that has been filled with water, and the water is deep and blue and clear, and you cannot see or touch the bottom. And there is something about that deep, bottomless mystery that makes them afraid and excited and alive. They sit around on the sun-baked rocks like lizards, men and women who cannot be much older than 20. Are they men and women yet, or are they still boys and girls? Because they aren't sure, and there is no word for what they are now, young and old, and wiser than they've ever been, but wise enough to know that they are too young to be wise enough to know that they are sometimes stupid, wise enough to know that they have lives to get back to and jobs they should be doing, and old enough to know that they should not be drinking on rocks in a quarry in the middle of nowhere. Old enough to know that they have to savor this moment, because they have had an awareness lately that time is speeding up, and that these moments will no longer happen soon. So they sit on the rocks and drink, and no one has brought bathing suits because when the sun rose, they thought that it would be a chilly day, but the clouds blew away hours ago, and now a heady heat is settling in over the water, and they are protected from the wind, and everyone is sweating and stripping down to as little as they can wear without changing the vibe completely. On a rock, separate from the others, the man who is also still a boy and the girl who is sometimes, every so often, starting to think of herself as a woman, are talking and laughing. And she knows that they are touching more than they should touch as friends. She is supposed to be taken, and she thinks about the word taken and what it means and why we use that word. But then he, the other he, the one who did the taking, did take something from her, and lately she's been wondering if what he took was the part of her that made her who she was. Maybe he took the person she wanted to be, or the person she was supposed to be, and maybe this new boy, who is looking so much like a boy in the sunshine, smiling and getting sunburned and glowing with sweat, maybe this new boy can give her something, and she wonders if she would still be taken once she had herself back. She can't stop staring at his lips, these lips that she should not be looking at, lips that she should not be thinking about, but she is thinking about them. She is thinking about what they taste like, and she's fairly sure they would taste like sweat and the potato chips they ate back in the car, and she thinks it would probably be gross and dirty, and she would feel bad about it, but she has never wanted anything so much in her life. He's looking at her, and he might be looking at her lips too, and she hopes that he is. She hopes that he's thinking about the potato chips and the sunshine and the sweat glistening on her skin. She's hoping that lying on this rock, talking about nothing at all, he is thinking about how she is a woman. She is hoping that he has forgotten the conversation they had about how she was with someone else. She is hoping he could hear the question mark at the end of the sentence when she said she was in a relationship. But she doesn't even know why there was a question mark. She didn't mean for there to be one. And she is old enough to know that when they leave this rock and she is back in the real world, she will feel guilty. And it should make her want to stop, but it makes her take his hand because she only lives once. He takes her hand and they climb, drunkenly, staggering more than they should, to the top of a taller rock. And they stand looking at the water, and maybe it's not deep enough, although it probably is. Maybe they will get hurt. Maybe they will fall, and that makes it better. It is what they want, to maybe get hurt, to maybe be alive, because they want to be alive, 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 and they jump into the water holding hands, and they are falling for longer than should be possible, and she is alive, and she is not taken. She is not anything but air and falling. They hit the water, and it is blue and bottomless, and it doesn't matter if they touch the bottom. Thank you.